Hello friends. Today, oops, there's my big hands. You don't need to see them quite yet. Today I am going to give you a little tutorial on finger knitting. We're just going to do like the really simple one strand finger knitting, and I have learned that my clothes need to contrast with my yarn. So I have this nice thick ochre colored wool, and this is the ball end, this is the tail end, and so we're going to start with the tail and cross the end to make a little loop like that. So the tail is on top as it faces you, and I'm going to take the yarn that's coming off of the head and pull it through the loop. Now I'm going to hold both of the ends of the yarn that are coming out, and I'm going to pull the loop up. So now that's just a slip knot. If you've ever made a slip knot, that's how you make it. It slips. If you pull on the right end, it slips. Bigger, smaller, or smaller and bigger. So you can tighten it up, and really this is just, finger knitting is just a series of slip knots. So to make the next stitch, you're going to take your little birdie and you're going to reach through the hole and grab a worm. Now at the beginning, you might be tempted to pull on the tail, but you're pulling on the yarn that's coming out of the ball. So grab that little worm, pull it out there with your beak, and then keep holding onto the tail with whatever is not your dominant hand. For me, that's my left hand, and pull up on the loop. Then you probably want to make this loop smaller, so do that. And then here comes the little birdie again. The little birdie's hungry. He's gonna poke his little beak in the hole and grab a worm and pull it out of the hole, and then you pull up. You keep holding on to the tail and you pull up to tighten the stitch. You don't want it to be really tight, but you can make it as tight as you want, but I think it looks nicer when it's a little looser. So here comes our birdie, tweet tweet, through the hole, and grab the worm and pull it out. Then hold on to the loop with your dominant hand, pull out onto the tail, and as the chain gets longer, I move my hand up so it's not on the single piece of yarn, but it's on the part that's already finger knitted, and just pull it up until it's tight. And then my loop, as you can see, is getting big again, so you just find the end that makes it smaller, and there goes the little birdie into the hole and catches a worm. And don't forget to hold the tail and pull up, and that's it. And as you get the hang of it, it goes a little faster, obviously. That's how it goes, but that's all there is to it. And so you can do this. I like to do it sometimes when I need to keep my fingers busy and I don't have any tools with me. Kids, they can do it at different ages. Usually like 4.5 to 5-year-olds can do it, but when they're ready, they pick it up pretty, they pick it up pretty quickly. So you can teach your children the little birdie, catching the worm is a nice way to do it. Sometimes with the children, if they have a hard time catching on, to start with, I may do the first slip knot for them. And also if they really want to do it and they can't quite get it, I may hold on onto the tail for them and let them pull up the loops and until they get the hang of it. Usually if their interest stays and they keep trying, they're often ready to get it, and if not, they'll just give it up after a while. So I will share at a later date some things that you can do with all your lovely finger knitting, but just to get you started off, you can very easily just make it into a bracelet or a necklace. The children will love that. I have worn many lovely pieces of finger knit jewelry that have been made for me. And another simple thing you can do when you get a long enough pieces to just coil it into like a little rug for a dollhouse or a coaster for a mug or something like that. So that's it. Happy finger knitting. Let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for stopping by. So long.